You followed the rules, studied hard, played it safe, and yet, people with half your brains are crushing it in the world of money. They're not smarter, they're not more educated. Some of them can't even spell entrepreneur, but they're out here building wealth, stacking wins, and living free while you're still overthinking every move. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The money game doesn't reward intelligence, it rewards movement. And the ones beating you? They act without waiting for perfection. They take messy action, make fast decisions, and fail forward without flinching. Meanwhile, you, with your degrees, plans, and endless analysis, are stuck in the same spot, waiting for the green light that never comes. It's time to flip the script. If you've ever wondered why people dumber than you are getting rich, this video will wake you up. No fluff, no sugarcoating, just the real reasons why you're losing this game. And how to finally start winning. People grow up thinking that if they're smart enough, success is guaranteed. But here's the kicker. Wealth doesn't care about your IQ. Some of the brightest minds stay broke, while others with average intelligence find a way to build money empires. Why? Because society sold us the idea that degrees equal riches. And while knowledge is valuable, real investing starts when you realize the world rewards action, not academic perfection. You can spot it everywhere. Folks with a PhD living paycheck to paycheck, while someone who never finished college drives off in a Tesla. The game isn't played in classrooms. It's played in boardrooms, in markets, and in decisions made when no one's watching. Rich people understand that what gets you paid isn't how smart you sound, it's how well you move money. The mindset isn't get smarter, it's get sharper. Smart people often get stuck waiting for the right time, but the right time doesn't show up. You've got to make it. Wealth isn't waiting for you to finish your thesis. It's moving fast, flowing toward those who chase it with strategy, courage, and execution. And funny enough, those who stop overthinking usually get to it first. Take Richard Branson. The man barely made it through school, dyslexia, bad grades, you name it. But he had something stronger than raw intelligence, vision, and guts. He understood money wasn't about solving equations, it was about solving problems people actually cared about. That's how he turned a student magazine into a wealth-building empire called Virgin. Now look at Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest minds in history. Invented things far ahead of his time, but he died broke. Why? Because genius alone doesn't pay the bills. He lacked business sense, negotiating power, and investing wisdom. Meanwhile, others monetized his ideas and built legacies. The lesson? Intelligence without financial strategy can leave you in the shadows of those who know how to play the game. What separates the rich from the brilliant but broke isn't talent, it's application. Branson built brands, negotiated deals, and mastered risk. Tesla poured his soul into inventions but never learned how to protect or monetize them. In today's world, the smartest move isn't to just be smart. It's to think like an investor and act like an entrepreneur. And that brings us to a strange but powerful comparison that reveals even more. Picture this. Two people stand at the entrance of a maze. One is a genius, analyzing, measuring angles, drawing theories on the wall. The other, just a regular person, no big thoughts, no big plans. But guess who moves first? Yep, the average guy. He takes a wrong turn, bumps into a wall, doubles back. Meanwhile, the genius is still stuck thinking. Wealth doesn't wait for overthinkers in the real world. That maze is life. Investing, building money, starting a business, these are all paths filled with uncertainty. And while some try to solve them first, others learn by doing. The guy who tries, fails, adjusts, and keeps moving, he's already miles ahead. Not because he's smarter, but because he's in motion. The maze rewards the one who takes steps, not the one who maps it forever. It's not about being careless, it's about embracing feedback. Every wrong turn teaches something new. That's how people become rich. They don't try to perfect the plan before starting. They learn inside the game, not outside of it. The ones who win aren't waiting for permission, they're already navigating the maze, bruises and all. And what usually keeps the genius frozen in place is even deeper than logic. Smart people often carry a secret curse. They're terrified of failure. Not because failure is fatal, but because it's personal. When you've been praised for being the smart one your whole life, messing up feels like betrayal. So instead of risking embarrassment, they do what feels safe, and wealth doesn't grow in safe zones. It grows where bold moves live, that fear becomes a trap. The smarter someone is, the more reasons they invent not to act. What if it doesn't work? What will people think? Analysis becomes anxiety. But here's the truth, money doesn't care about how you look when you lose. It cares that you had the guts to try. That's why many rich people failed publicly and got up stronger. Breaking this fear isn't about pretending you're not afraid, it's about doing it anyway. Take a small risk, launch something imperfect. Buy your first stock even if it's just $10 in an ETF like VOO or QQQ. Every little win builds confidence. And over time, your mindset shifts, not toward avoiding failure, but chasing it for the lessons. Which leads us to why movement beats mastery every time. Some of the most wealthy people in the world didn't get there because they were the best. They got there because they moved. While others were still perfecting their resumes or rewriting their business plans, these folks were already in the game, making mistakes and learning fast. Money doesn't reward perfection, it rewards momentum. Think about it. You'll meet someone who launched a scrappy online store with bad logos and no strategy, but they made their first sale, and that lit the fire. Meanwhile, someone else with the perfect idea and perfect plan is still stuck. Thinking, in the real world, the person who acts, even clumsily, learns faster, adapts better, and gets rich because of that momentum. It's not polished effort, it's persistent effort. Want to change your mindset? Replace "how do I do this perfectly" with "what's my next messy step?" Start the blog, pitch the offer, open the investing account. Read The Lean Startup by Eric Ries and apply just one idea from it. Perfection is a delayed tactic dressed in productivity's clothing. And the longer you wait, the more time slips into the hands of people who just do. And what makes doing actually work. Is something anyone can master. Everyone's got ideas, killer ones, even. But the difference between a dreamer and someone building wealth? Execution. It's not about being naturally gifted. It's about showing up, doing the unsexy stuff, and actually finishing things. While the smart folks are polishing their strategy for the 10th time, the executors are testing, failing, tweaking, and getting money in motion. Execution isn't some magical talent you're born with. It's a skill, like driving or cooking, you get better by doing. Want to improve? Start small, commit to launching something within 7 days, a service, a product, a content piece, anything. Set a deadline, track progress. Hold yourself accountable like a rich person would, with the belief that every task, however small, leads to a return. This mindset shift is a game changer. The question becomes, what can I make real today? Not what can I think about perfectly for weeks? And once you start acting, you'll notice the people who truly thrive don't necessarily know the most, they just move the fastest and finish the most. But there's one more element that gives them serious leverage, especially when it comes to influence. Steve Jobs wasn't the smartest engineer in the room, but he didn't have to be. What made him legendary wasn't his technical skills, but his ability to sell ideas, inspire teams, and rally people behind a vision. That's social intelligence, and it's one of the most overlooked superpowers in the wealth-building world. Money flows toward those who know how to communicate, persuade, and connect. Want proof? Look at how many rich people aren't necessarily brilliant, but they're magnetic. They know how to read a room, build trust, and close deals. They're masters at storytelling, networking, and positioning themselves as leaders. You don't need a genius IQ to do that. You need awareness, empathy, and the courage to talk to people, ask questions, and show up. Social investing pays off big time, so if you're quiet, shy, or think you're not good with people, it's time to level up. Start reading How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Go to meetups, join online forums. Practice pitching your ideas out loud. Relationships are rocket fuel for success, and when paired with consistent action and bold decisions, they unlock something even deeper than intelligence, a powerful, unstoppable mindset. At the end of the day, success doesn't belong to the smartest, it belongs to the bold. It belongs to those who build a mindset that refuses to stay stuck. The kind that sees failure as data, not defeat. The truth is, money responds to energy, effort, and execution, not your sad score. You don't need to outthink the world, you need to outdo it day by day. Winners aren't obsessed with being right. They're obsessed with learning, growing, and doing. They understand that wealth is less about having the perfect strategy and more about having the discipline to follow through. The real flex isn't being a genius, it's being coachable, resilient, and committed. That's what turns average players into rich legends. Not just intelligence, but attitude. So here's the shift: stop asking, "Am I smart enough?" and start asking, "Am I willing enough?" Because if you're willing to show up, fail forward, and invest in your growth, you're already playing a different game. And in this game, investing in your mindset is the real edge. So let's talk about the people who seem to be winning, even when they don't have it all figured out. So now that you know the truth, what are you going to do with it? Keep sitting on ideas? Keep letting fear of failure run the show? Or are you finally ready to shift your mindset, take action, and start building the wealth you know you're capable of? You don't need to be a genius to win, you just need to start. What's one thing you've been putting off that could move your money life forward today? A call you haven't made, a business you haven't launched, an investing account you haven't opened? Ask yourself, are you playing to avoid losing, or are you playing to actually win? If this message lit a fire in you, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay locked in, because we're just getting started. There's a whole new level of wealth waiting for you, and together, we're going to go get it.